Old School Gamer Live. Boom shakalaka.
What is going on, everybody? We got another episode of Old School Gamer Live, slapping you right in the teeth. I hope all my old school gamers are doing great out there. We got the godfather of the home arcade with us tonight, Sheldon Sims, one of my oldest pals in the industry here. We've been doing stuff for a long, long time together. We're going to talk a little bit about it. We're going to talk about what's going on in the home arcade industry right now and what we think is going to happen in the future. On top of that, we have our magazine update. We have the latest in retro news popping. We are going to do our pinball corner, and then I'm going to finish this thing off. Well, we do have our weekly tournament roundup, and then we're finishing this off, guys, with the Argon game of the week. I hope everybody's doing great out there tonight. It's your pal No Quarter coming at you. Let's go ahead and fire this thing off. Start her off right off the bat with our magazine update. We have some cool stuff going on this week. Our pal Todd has a cool new article that he's popping with Karateka. He is doing an article on the new making of. Let's check out this video here, and then we'll explain a little bit more.
It really stuck out as a precursor of everything that games would be.
Karateka.
It was the most movie-like experience I'd ever had in a video game.
Love it. It's so good.
I didn't know who Jordan Mechner was, but I wanted to be like Jordan Mechner.
I was in college. I came home on vacation with this new project that was starting. And we were taking karate lessons.
Characters were not little sets of pixels. They, in fact, were fully formed individuals. They had personalities.
Rotoscoping is literally tracing each frame to get a frame of animation.
The aesthetic and the motion was really unusual for the time.
I knew how important music was to tell a story, but I wasn't a musician. So I turned to my dad.
I said, well, why not have a series of beats that are tuned to notes?
It understood that visuals mattered, that full motion mattered, that human beings mattered.
The story is, in most games, considered a mandatory aspect. Jordan predates all of that.
Karateka will stand the test of time as one of the most elegant game experiences that's ever been done. It's amazing.
So there you go. In the next issue of Old School Gamer Magazine, Todd Freeman will have his article on the making of Karateka. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be an awesome article to read. All right, in the latest retro news, guys, I just saw today that Brian Cullen's awesome game that almost wasn't is going to be on Steam. It is released right now, $9.99. You can't beat it. Let's watch the video about it right now. Let me pull this thing up here. Full screen this thing. We're going to play the video. So there you go. A classic Laserdisc game that Doc Mack at Galloping Ghost was able to revive and make a actual game. It's absolutely the coolest thing. Thank you so much, Doc, for making that happen, man. Absolutely awesome. We are super excited to see that that's actually now available on Steam to play. That is so freaking cool, guys. Great job on that. Polycade has their Senti released, guys. Oh, I gotta mute this. Senti released or coming up very soon. You need to get your pre-order in on this now so you can get it for the cheapest price available. Check her out. So there you go. If you need a cabinet that also doubles as a nuclear bunker, you will want to purchase one of those right there, and you'll be ready to go. I hope you guys are saving up, because that is the ultimate cabinet right there. Our pals over at Arcade Animal have their, where's my slide at? Have their Kickstarter launching right now. Get over there and help them out, because this is one of the coolest shows I've seen. I've been wanting to do a game show like this for a long time, but they actually finally did it. So we need to jump on and help these guys. I absolutely love it. Check it out.
This is Arcade Animals, a totally rad game show competition featuring your favorite 80s arcade games.
Hello everybody, my name is Scott Leftwich. I'm the director of Arcade Animals, and I'm the curator of an 80s arcade museum called Wieners and Losers. And that's where the game show is filmed. And this is my brother Blake.
Yeah, I'm Blake. I'm the technical director for Arcade Animals, the co-founder of Egg Roll Games, and I love all things 80s, classic arcade games, and old game shows. We've already filmed 3 episodes of Arcade Animals. Our Kickstarter goal is to raise enough money to make 3 more, and if the Kickstarter goes well, then we'll have the funds to hopefully make 9 more episodes, so we'll have a whole season.
Puka and Fygar are game characters from Dig Dug or Crystal Castles. Wendy.
Dig Dug.
Correct.
Gene, our host, is a fun guy who has been described as a real-life cartoon character.
Back up. As if I hit him. All right.
When I first watched some of the final edits of the show, I found myself like getting right back into that, like having that feeling of seeing people compete on arcade games and remembering how fun that was to have those kinds of competitions with your friends.
I personally have been collecting and restoring classic arcade games for 27 years. And it's something very personal to me. I love bringing that back to life, bringing the 80s back to life, bringing the 80s arcade game scene back to life. That was a special time in my life, as it was a special time in a lot of people's lives.
I'm just happy to be here. Thanks for having me on, man.
It's been great. It's been fun to have you here.
My hopes with Arcade Animals is that when people see this, they're as excited as I am, and I think that they will be, especially if you're an 80s kid, especially if you grew up in that time period and you went to the arcades when you were a kid. You know, we are super excited to do it all over again and then some. Check out our rewards at our Kickstarter page. This is going to be so fun. We're so excited to put this project together and make the 80s proud. And with your help, I know we can nail this thing, and we look forward to great things. Long live the 80s.
Very cool. So there you go, guys. Go support our friends over there at Arcade Animals. We love what they're doing over there. I sure hope you guys do too. We need more of this kind of stuff, you know? It's so cool to see these guys organize this, put it together. It's not easy to do that. Believe me, I've tried to do it. It's hard to get guests to come in person. They got this whole arcade set up in their Airbnb, first of all. It's sweet setup. Super sweet setup. The basement of their Airbnb is this awesome arcade. So they have that set up ready to go. And then they do this game show there. So cool, guys. Absolutely love it. I definitely support you 100%. All right, let's bring on our friend of Old School Gamer, everybody's best friend. I've called him this for a long time. Everybody's best friend, the godfather of home school or home arcade, Sheldon Sims. What's up, my friend? How in the heck?
Man, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good, man. It is good to see you. I mean, we have done a ton of stuff over the years, man. And it's so awesome to see you in person finally. We've talked for a long time, but never face to face. So it's good to see you, man.
You too.
So let's start in the beginning. Let's talk about.
I guess we've known each other for almost 4 years now. When the At Games Legends Ultimate came out, and I found that community, and I guess right in the very beginning, the trackball wasn't made out of the best material. And that's when we came up with the shims. And that's when, you started selling them for me. You're like my only authorized reseller.
We came up with this shim idea. Mine was the ballpoint pin cut into pieces. You had a real design. It blew me away. I was like, holy crap, this guy had a real idea. Mine is just jamming a bunch of crap in there. Man, why don't we team up and we'll do this for real? I'll do all the work and we'll cut you a percentage of it and we'll partner up. And you said, let's do it.
Yeah. And some people had erasers shoved in the gaps, but
all kinds of stuff.
And I really didn't know anything about 3D modeling until people were complaining about their trackballs breaking. So I ordered a digital caliper on Amazon and started measuring all the parts in mine and went through several revisions on some of the pieces. But I can't believe it worked out.
Yeah, and that's what got me into it as well. I mean, I didn't know a thing about it. I didn't know anything about it. So once you designed these, then I started designing stuff. You know, I started coming up with stuff. He also designed one of our best-selling items here, which is one of the most basic items. When you look at it, you're like, what is that? This is the sensor shelf for the aim track gun that fits the ALU. It just simply, the tape isn't on there right now, but we would have tape pads on here, and the sensor shelf would just glue onto the ALU up on the top there. You can't see it on there, but yeah, so we have all the stuff that complements these cabinets, right? And they were basically created for ourselves. Right? I mean, we were making the stuff for ourselves, but it turned out that everybody needed it too.
Yeah, and then it's like, it'd be cool to, cover the ports. So we've got port covers, and then people started saying, hey, can you do a trackball cover? Because I don't want dust getting in my trackball. Or can you design something to stop my kid from hitting the power button and shut my machine off? And then when the leaderboard games came out, they wanted a rewind button cover so they wouldn't accidentally push rewind and have to forfeit the game.
The button covers, man, we've gotten a lot of gruff off those over the years. You know, people are like, oh, why would you need a button cover? I've never once accidentally hit a button. Well, we've got asked many times for a button cover, so we'll sell you a button cover. I mean, if you need one, and I will say, I've accidentally hit that rewind button a couple of times. And the most inopportune time. So I've needed that button cover myself. Yeah. So I'd see the value in them. But yeah, we've been worked over many times about the button covers, but it is what it is. Then I learned how to came up with these restrictors.
Yeah.
And this was what I came up with, right, on my own. And this is what I started learning how I really started learning how to design my own stuff. Then I started doing restrictors, and I started doing dress up things, golden tee stuff, and different gun holsters and stuff like that. So because of Sheldon, I learned how to do 3D printing. It's all because of him, pretty much. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. He told me which brand of printer to get, so I got the exact brand of printer to get. I learned all that stuff basically from him. So I have a lot of respect for Sheldon. I got a lot to owe that boy. So I appreciate you being on the show, man. I appreciate everything you've done for me and for the community. So we owe you a lot, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and then people started wanting to customize their machines with all the same color and the joystick dust covers. But yeah, I'd like to talk about like how far we've gone. Like I always dreamed of having like a arcade machine. Yeah,
you can one, huh?
Yeah, so for years I wanted a X arcade, and it was like $3,500, and I'm like, I couldn't see it. And then Extension came out with their cabinets, but they were still a little outside of my price range, and I freaked out when I heard about or started hearing about the At Games Legends Ultimate, and I had been playing with At Games products for years. The flashbacks, they had the little handhelds.
Mm-hmm.
Played Sega Master System, Atari, and had Sega Genesis stuff, but in the beginning, the emulation wasn't so good, and the sound was off on the Sega. But I think they kind of turned a corner with the Atari Flashback 8 Gold that had the HDMI output. Mm-hmm. They came out with the Sega Genesis Flashback HD. I bought both of those and freaked out.
I own a ton of At Games products for the ALU. You know, I did, and I still do. And yeah, they weren't the greatest, but you know what? They got us playing the games.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, I had the Intellivision Flashback, the ColecoVision Flashback, and then when I got still got a little Sega, man. You can play the real cartridges, and it has 30 or 40 games on it. I mean, that's cool. That is really cool. And the Atari Flashback had 100 and something games, but then
from like Dollar General or something.
Yeah, do a little Googling on how to hack it and add more games. And I actually added more games to mine with box art.
That's so cool.
But that kind of evidently paved the way for the ALU. And then they came out with the little HDMI blast dongles that had the controllers. You could hook them up to your TV. But then I guess around May 31st, 2019, they came out with a press release on the ALU. And then they started hitting Sam's in September. But I think I didn't hear about it till October. And then I'm like trying to get my hands on one. And every time they had them in stock, by the time you could like hear about it and go online, they were out of stock.
Man, I can't remember when I got mine. It was later in the year, and I remember we were all in the Facebook groups, and we had a couple of groups put together already that we were talking about the ALU, and we were ready for this thing to pop. And I remember I went to Sam's Club, and they had 5 of them, and I was like, dude, should I buy one? And I paced back and forth. It was like, I'll come back in a couple of days and get one. I paced back and forth. And I got on that Facebook group, and everybody's like, my Sam's Club doesn't have any. Sam's Club doesn't have any. They're out. I was like, I got to buy one. So I just bought it. It's one I have here. I bought it. So I got to get it. So I snapped it up, and I'm so glad that I did when I did it.
Yeah. You know? I was on the bus. They were hauling us from the job site back to the parking lot. And I was on one of the Facebook groups, and they said they're online again. They're in stock. And I actually ordered it sitting on the bus, and I got mine January 9th of 2020. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure I got mine in 2019.
Good deal.
I'd have to look. It was one of the earlier ones.
Man.
I remember it was one of the original ones.
Yeah, but I mean, I freaked 2 joysticks, 2 spinners, trackball.
Yeah, it was loaded, man, and it had all these games.
Yeah.
Now they weren't banger collection games, but mind you, I've played these banger collection games my entire life. I'm ready for new games. I'm ready for some games I haven't played, and that's what the thing was filled with. Absolutely.
Yeah.
With the games I never really played, some that I were familiar with, but most of them I never played before, and I was actually excited to actually play them, and a lot of people look at it, but God, that's a bunch of crap games I never heard of. I looked at them like, that's a bunch of games I've never heard of. I can't wait to play those.
Yeah, and that's like, you play it, and it's like, these are actually fun.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, this is awesome. Like that Gladiator game, a lot of people talk crap about it. I think that game was hilariously fun. When you're in the Gladiator, I think this is called Gladiator, actually, or Mighty Warrior, maybe. I don't know. But there's tons of games on there that are like, I don't know what this is, but when you start playing it, you're like, this is hilariously fun. I love this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Swiss Army knife of the home arcade.
Yeah. Yeah, we started hearing about BYOG, right, and the add-on tool, and add your own games, and so then the quest started to see what all we could actually get running on it, and we had a lot running on it, but at first we were limited to the 64-bit cores and retro player, which is what that games actually uses when you load a game on it. But then we had a wizard that came up with a teaser video in April of 2020 that was advertising the one sauce to rule them all. So we're like, what in the world? When's it coming out? And when one sauce came out, it was awesome. And I immediately contacted the creator and wanted to join his team. But yeah, that brought RetroArch to the AOU and the ability to just load your own ROMs and box art and make it pretty. And we've got like a graphic wizard who was building all the menus and stuff. He's on this chat, Roman Itkin. But yeah, it's good stuff. And I guess, and then after a while, the wizard came up with a way to load standalone cores, added support for 32-bit cores, and that allowed us to run PlayStation 1 at full speed, which blew my mind. And we eventually got it to run everything up to Dreamcast. So
that's pretty amazing, man, all on that same little board.
Yep. Yeah, and then they came out with, well, you were talking about the Swiss Army knife, and they kept coming out with, for a while, a new firmware update every week that kept adding all these features. And I can't believe what all they got running on that little chip. I mean, what do we have? The leaderboards, the voice chat, live streaming straight from the cabinet. And
that is really cool to be able to stream straight to Twitch or Facebook.
Yeah, and I actually tried all 3 of them because I made up a little manual step-by-step how to do it.
Yeah, that is really cool. I actually am going to start utilizing that here not too long from now.
Cool.
Yeah, man. The old AOU. Let's talk a little bit more about One Sauce, man, and where that's going.
That's, yeah, it's going to have context-sensitive menus soon. You'll be able to choose what core you want to run a game with. If you use the bit LCD, it's going to have the if you're using it now and you're scrolling through games, the bit LCD has this delay and it tries to keep up, and it takes forever to catch up if you scroll through all from A to Z in a collection. But that's fixed now. It's now it doesn't display your game name until you stop on that game and stop scrolling. So that's a nice change.
Nice.
Apple Win is going to be in this next release, and it lets you run Apple II and Apple IIe games. It's like Michael B will finally get to play Oregon Trail.
Sweet.
He's been wanting that one, but
the OG Oregon Trail.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, One Sauce is still growing, still improving and evolving, and that's great. And then we've got competition from CoinOps X and Legends Unchained Arcade. So it's great. I mean, there's all kind of different ways to bring whatever games you want to play on the cabinet now.
What's your thoughts on the new 4K pinball table?
That is sweet, and I really want one. And I'm hoping that they like follow through with some of the other stuff they were planning on releasing. That's kind of been put on hold to support spitting out a bunch of Adams Family cabinets right now to support the Zen partnership. But yeah, I was looking forward to the the wireless Bit Blaster guns,
Me too.
4K upgrade boards.
Are they doing the Bit Blasters again?
We'll see. I mean, they were supposedly canceled, but
yeah, that's the last thing I heard about them.
But some of this other stuff, I mean, I think the quad play was kind of postponed for a while, and it finally came out.
Yeah.
The 4K upgrade boards, and even the 4K arcade cabinet, and I think the handheld Voyager, they're on hold right now because they're needing all of the those arcade 3588 chips to go in the pinball machines right now. So I'm
real money makers.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like itching I just wanted the upgrade board with a better processor. I didn't see the need for running retro games at 4K, so I just wanted the upgrade board to go in my existing machine so we could get more running.
I can understand the 4K on pinball, but on the AOU, I don't really care about 4K on the AOU. 1080 is fine for me, man.
Yeah.
On the pinball, that makes sense because of those Zen tables. Those really could benefit from 4K. I understand that. And also because of the frame rate and all that different stuff, that makes sense on pinball. ALU, nah. Does Contra need to be 4K?
No.
I mean, what are we doing? Double Dragon? That doesn't need to be 4K.
No.
So, I don't know. The Bit Blaster, I don't know what happened with that, because that would be a million seller. You would think everybody would buy that, 2 or 3 of them, to have one extra laying around just in case if one does fail or something, and it can't be impossible to do because the Nintendo Wii was such a powerful unit, and those exist in so many millions of units. It's like, just what technology did they use? Copy that somehow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I was super excited for that. I sold off all my light guns.
Oh man!
In anticipation for the Bit Blaster.
Yeah, I've still got the one aim track.
Do you?
On my original 1.0 ALU.
I've got a Sinden laying around here somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. I haven't been able to find it. I need to find it though, so I can take some new pictures of that.
Yeah.
New gun holster there.
Cool.
Yeah, I got to do that. Well, Sheldon, you got any future predictions for the home arcade community?
Yeah, just what's out there now. Anybody, regardless of budget, can get into the At Games ecosystem for starting with $70 for the core, or you can pick you up a core plus that comes with the gamepad. And those are cheap at Sam's. They came out with the Pinball Micro, the Gamer Pro, the Gamer Mini, Legends Ultimate Mini, the Connect, and it's like if you want to build your own cabinet, you can use the Connect. But the future, yeah, I'm like, the future's so bright. I've got to put these suckers on, you know. But yeah, I think good things are going to happen, and I'm looking forward to them coming out with the 4K arcade cabinet. They're making partnership deals with Zen and Taito and all that for the pinball tables. I'm just hoping they'll do something similar for, more modern arcade games. That would be cool.
Yeah. So I guess that would really be why you would want the ALU to be 4K, so you could start playing some more modern arcade games.
Yeah.
Which in turn, the machine itself would have to be a little bit more powerful to be able to do that, unless they are doing some sort of a cloud computing system, which the BYOG system could possibly do that now. Because I think last time I did it worked pretty well, actually. That virtual PC system works actually very well on there now I think about it.
Yeah, and a lot of people use OTG and plug their PC into it. And games. And that works good. Yeah. It's
they might have this thing completely figured out.
But I'm like, I've got the Atari VCS, the new one. And they're actually putting some decent games on it. So I think if the At Games cabinet with the 4K board or with the RK 3588, it should be able to do the same thing.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah. So I don't know what they have up their sleeve. I know they've got to have something up their sleeve.
Yeah. You know it, man. They always do. They always are there to surprise us.
Yeah.
Make us wanting more. Leave us wanting more. I know that much because we've been doing this for 4 years now, playing with these guys, and man, I absolutely love what they've done, and I'm excited for the future as well. Just like you, man. I can't wait to see what is next.
Yeah.
Well, Sheldon, I appreciate you being on, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. We'll definitely have to have you on again. We'll talk about
since it's a Halloween show. I dressed up as Count Dracula.
I appreciate you. You put more effort into it than I did, and I appreciate that. I need to take my mask is over there. I should have at least worn that.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you, man. We'll have you on again soon.
Good. Sounds great, man. Thanks.
Have a good one, dude.
You too.
All right. We all have a little Sheldon there. Everybody's best friend in the arcade community. He knows his stuff, guys, and I'm so happy to have him around and to be able to call him as a friend. He knows what he's doing. I tell you that. He taught me a lot of stuff, guys. Awesome guy. All right, let's jump on to our pinball corner. Also, FYI, I'm not going to be doing any gameplay because we're doing some Halloween stuff tonight. So that's part of the Halloween special. Everybody's going to get off the computer. We're all going to go out and hit the arcades tonight, all right? So let's get through this thing. We are firing off the pinball corner here. We're going to see what our pals at 1984 Branson had going on their Week 7 tournament. All right. I love those boys, Ronnie and Johnny. They always have it rocking up there in 1984 Branson. If you get a chance, go up there and check it out. This week, we are going to be riding the coattails of the boys over at High Scores on Tap. They have a Halloween tournament going on, sponsored by At Games. Check it out right here.
At Games and the unofficial At Games Legends Groups presents the unofficial Halloween Spooktacular Tournament. Join us for a week of fall off the bone fun as we try to purge Chicago of all the undead skeletons in Bone Busters Incorporated. Are you ready for a skull-cracking good time? This tournament can be played on any Legends pinball device that has the game built in. Play will start on Tuesday, October 24th at 1 p.m. Pacific and will run until Tuesday, October 31st, 7 p.m. Pacific. Please note you may have to clear your locally saved score for this game. Otherwise, you will have to score higher than your 5th highest locally saved score to qualify. So fire up those at-game devices, and we want to see you on the spooky leaderboards.
That is a really fun game, guys. If you have not played that one yet, fire that one off. If anybody knows how to trigger that, there's a little flipper up in the top where they call the firehouse. Anybody knows how to trigger that on the ALP, let me know. I'd love to know how to do that. I don't know how to do it. Pinball Expo was last weekend. Stern put together a really awesome video to show what happened. Check this out. There you go. I have definitely got to hit that one next year. There's a ton of stuff going on up there next year at that exact same weekend. So I'm definitely making it. Hope to see a bunch of you guys up there at the same time. We should all meet. That would be really awesome. All right. This week, the weekly tournament roundup. Arcade High Score Challenge. We are doing Eyes and Scramble. Ton of scores already being submitted. I need to get my scores thrown in on this one because I'm actually pretty good at Scramble. Eyes, I'm not the greatest at, but I'm going to throw some time in on that one. This last week, actually, on Retro Games Fun, I threw some scores down on Clax, and I got third place, as you can see there. But Robert Villanilla, that boy is always cleaning up on first place. He got first place on Clax, and Mr. Do. I see our buddy Sacro is down there on 7th place on Mr. Do. Good job, though, man. That's better than what I could have done because I'm not very good at Mr. Do, at least not yet. I'm going to put some more time on that one. This week, we're still voting on Retro Games Fun, so get your votes in. Unfortunately, the votes are for Eyes, which I hope it doesn't win because we're already doing that one on Arcade High Score Challenge Club, coincidentally. Vote for Cram, which I've never heard of, and this Modus game. So there's two games I've never heard of. I just threw my vote in for Cram. So never heard of it. Looks kind of like I don't even know what it really looks like, quite frankly. So I'm interested to try to learn it. Looks interesting. So we're voting until Friday, and then we will start challenging this weekend on one of those games, whichever one wins out on the vote. Hang out with us over on the Neo Turf Masters Clubhouse, guys. Warren always has something cool going on over there. We are popping different tournaments all the time, so hang out with us over there if you want to challenge the boys over there. And I will tell you, there's no slouching going on. These guys are doing 22 under, 23 under games. So you better bring the fire if you're going to be playing along. I would like to host a more casual tournament one of these days on here, and we just might. So keep your ear to the grindstone. I'll let you know on that one. All right, Argon Game of the Week. We're going to fire off this right now. Check it out, guys. All right, guys, let's check out the Argon Game of the Week here. It is Graveyard Dude. Created with the NES Puzzle Maker here.
Okay, so rewind, you can hit that to rewind. Okay, so you can run. Okay, cool, good to know. Alright. I don't know how to, I guess, alright, it's like this thing. Pretty cool, so you gotta collect the skulls. Won't let you out until you get them. That's interesting. Ah. Anyway, there you go, guys. Graveyard Dude on Argon. Check it out.
There you go, and that is our Argon game of the week. That's a really fun little puzzle game, guys. Check that one out if you get a chance. A fun little game. And I appreciate everybody hanging out with me tonight. I know this is kind of a fast little game, or a fast little show. I'm not going to do any live gameplay, and I appreciate Andy hanging out. Appreciate Mitchell. Appreciate Sheldon being with me tonight. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you being a guest. Appreciate Sacro being with me, and Roman. Appreciate everybody. Mitchell, Spanky, good to see you too again, man. Everybody, Lewis, Rob. Scrolling on down here. Hope I don't miss anybody. If I missed you, I apologize. But I appreciate everybody hanging out with me, guys. Thank you so much. Next week, I'm going to be bringing on Bob Rose from Token Taverns. We're going to be talking about his multiple ways that you can watch his movie now, even a free way now on Tubi. So you got to watch some commercials, but who cares? Just go get a drink real quick. Thanks, man. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, we're going to go play some games. We're going to go hit some arcades, guys. It is Halloween time. We're going to go have some fun. I hope you guys go do the same. Go hit your arcades. Go hit your local arcades. Throw some quarters at them. Make sure you do what everybody does as an old school gamer and get some gaming in. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week. Have a great one.